Yo, what's up, man? This your boy Clarence over here at Pursuit of Freedom. This is my third extremely weak trade in a row. Now it's taking me some time because the market is looking iffy or something, right? Hey, uh, and in actuality, I don't been in the stock for longer than a day. I jumped in this here recon technology. Let me see something, man. Come on over here to Yahoo Finance. Of course, I got the TC2000 to your left, and I got this Recon to the right. Now, let me look at the average volume. The average volume on this thing is extremely weak. It was much weaker than that yesterday. I think it's only up because in the last 2 days, this thing has had some great volume. But they received an operating permit from the Chinese government. And that's basically about all that happened with this thing. But I got into it yesterday because it popped up on my list. Uh, it had some weak days. It was a gap up. The first green day to set a new high. That's also like a strategy that I try to look at. Like if this downtrend right here, you get this bullish engulfing candle right there, you can buy in on that candle. Now hold that the second day, take you higher if you can get in early enough. But I didn't. All right, so I'm gonna turn this into 5 minute candles. I got out pretty much in the same spot, man, where I got in. I was in at 117, got out at 118. I stayed in this thing for a day. I ended up losing $5, so I'm absolutely cool with that. This turned out to be a good trade because at one point I was down like $40. Um, Being that I'm still, working on getting good with this here thing, that part, this here part right now don't 100% matter. I could go ahead on and load this thing up with some funds and be trading much larger than I am right now. Being that I'm seeing that it's honestly easier to make money. Of course, it's easier to lose money when you trade with bigger trades, but bigger size, more money, more capital. But where I'm at right now, I'm still, just gonna keep getting better at this thing. Base hits one day at a time. So now I'm down about a buck 10 on the month of January, and January about to come to a close. But I'm gonna turn this into 5 minute candles to get yesterday involved. Now yesterday, this thing had punched up. When it first opened, it was up like 20 some percent. Closed at 89 cents. It opened up. That's not even a big gap. That's only 5% actually. And then it pushed up way up here because I'm in at 118. So yeah, it was up 20 something percent when I got in. I mean, it was up only 5% gap. Now the company has been weak. Um, so it had pushed up a tad bit. I missed this high here. I tried to wait for a little light pullback, and I'm actually in on this candle right next to it as I thought it was going to push back above the day high of 122. It turns out that day high 122 for yesterday, it actually held. This thing cracked beneath the VWAP, and instead of getting out, even though the news was weak, because you can see my stop out point was at 106. It came down and touched that 106, and I just set that based on this candle that had dipped way down and set a low. You know what I'm saying? So I set my stop out at that low. I didn't honor my stop, so that's breaking the rules. It's the point of setting the rules if you're gonna break them, but we all human. And today, this thing pushed back up, through the graces. Because it opened up today at about a buck 6, right where I got this thing set at, really at 107. So I was down 10 cents. 10 cents is usually my ultimate stop anyway, even though I set my stop out at the lower day. And it, when I woke up, because I had to go, I went to sleep, I had to work. Um, I woke up, this thing was at 107. Now, I honestly could ride this out a little bit because that could be some positive, some similar positive news. But let's just look at this chart's history. Now, I see where it had like a little run for 3 days and then it came back down. 2 green days here. I mean, most of the chart is red. In all honesty, just looking at the color differential, most of the chart is red. You got, I mean, a few days, a little 2 day pop, these little small stair stepping, so the company, whatever this company is, they ain't got no history of running for some time. This thing has been flat trading sideways for quite some time. Look at the weekly chart. Now you got a longer time frame. I mean, this thing is not even really been too much over $5 for the majority of the time that we're looking at. We back in 2011 way over here, back when it was falling in this range. Let's look at the monthly chart. So the absolute high on this thing is way up at $11. So I mean, this stock ain't never really been pushing higher. Now for 3 consecutive months right here, it pushed up, but this is the only real upward trend. Let's go back to the weekly and see if we can catch that in 2012. Yeah, so whatever this little time frame is right here, where it found the absolute bottom down there at 31 cents, it pushed up some, and it pushed up for weeks. Because that was 3 whole months of this thing closing higher than it did the previous month. But back on our daily chart, I mean, this thing ain't really showed a lot of strength. I did some investigating after I had got out. I could have got out a little bit higher as it just recently touched 120, but I got out in this same candle. I set my stop at 118 because I seen it was reaching up. I'm gonna just move this line. It was reaching up and touching that 118, 119 area. That was resistance. So that was an area telling me to sell. It had a brief punch above that, so I could have got another 2 pennies, which would have been no money anyway. I'm just happy that I'm not getting out down here with a 20-cent loss. I'm getting out with a 1 cent gain, and I paid commissions. So that's a scratch. They make it where there's not even like a genuinely big trade, but it's still a good trade to me because it's not taking a loss. As you see this thing trying to fall off the map. At this point with this big sale, $106 on my dollar volume down here at the bottom. But I mean, in the next few days, it may honestly tick a little bit higher. But I got to go back to the drawing board, man. I ain't been able to figure out this here market. I'm gonna change that. I mean, but my little paper trading over here looks decent. Looks decent. You know what I mean? It ain't no $100,000 worth of paper trading, but it's moving the account higher again, and that's been a while. So I jumped in this XLNX. Look at this ticker here, man. Let's go back to this minute chart. Look at this climb. I don't know what the news is. I ain't thought about reading Nathaniel on this here. I seen it while I was waiting, while I was hoping that RCON will punch back up. Oh yeah, because RCON opened at 107. So I've been just riding this little climb to 118, 119. Now I got sideways. I'm thinking that a breakdown might be coming. Maybe not. I don't 100% know what's gonna happen with these stocks. So I'm glad to get out close to break even. That's good enough for me. Usually I have at least in my watch list here, it is 1020. Over here, when I get down here, what is that? That's the 22nd stock this is the top 22 out of my 2200 that I got on this master list, right? But I'm usually at 20% if it's a good day. I ain't even looked at the market in this video, but of course I peek at the market first thing. Oh, we back, we green in the Dow, the NASDAQ green. So, I mean, it looked like we're trying to push up. We got, a couple red days in there that the market started out, pulling back. Look at how much it's dipped off, but these lows have been bought up. So I'm thinking of trying to catch these dips. You see this dip is being bought up. This big old dip down here has been bought back up. So I'm looking to try to find something that might spike a little bit, just like the market is doing. Pull back some, get in somewhere in the pullback, and hopefully it'll rise back, to the top. Um, rise anything just to get you a gain, get some gains in. You know what I mean? First things first is just become consistently profitable. And opening up this year, I'm pulling back for right now. You know what I'm saying? Needs more capital because with more capital, gaining is easy. Easier. You can always lose because I don't took losses and everything. Doing this here too, but 4 trades on the week so far. They all green trades. Got some tiny little trades here, even trying to use bigger capital, but just don't like what the stock's doing. The market is for my strategy. My strategy ain't quite winning in this market, so I got another thought already in my mind that I'm gonna test out. Because the market is changing. Sometimes you got to change with the times. You got to change with what's going on in our market. But I got a new strategy I'm gonna test out. Get away from trying to catch these breaks or don't buy until the break because this right here is looking like a breakout. I just I don't even know why I clicked on this, but that level right there at nine or whatever or 8, even 8 right here where it is these few days when you got this resistance right here and then this resistance right there. When that stock broke above that, that's telling you to buy. That's the buy trigger to the tune of 17% in a few days. Ain't no telling how that's gonna run. The intraday chart looks a little choppy. Let me go ahead on and get a 5-minute candle in there to get some solid bars up there. But yeah, sometimes this thing can be difficult. It's a difficult start to the year. Trump holding the whole government hostage. I don't think that's like got a whole lot to do with what's going on in the market right now. Because honestly, the year opened up, the market. I mean, the government was already shut down, and this thing pushed higher. This thing pushed higher for a little bit, but is it going to get back to these highs over here? Are we going to get back to this here level of 2,700, about another 1,000 points higher in the S&P? The S&P and the Wilshire are the two big dogs for me because they represent way more of the stocks that's out there than the Dow and the NASDAQ do. But that's it for me. Took a small loss in this RCON trade. $5. I am not mad at that at all. That was a good trade. Get out close. You know what I mean? I rather get flat, be flat, or have my account growing. Little small loss. I used $502, lost $572, so I'm at $496. That's Nathaniel, and commissions had to come out of that, so I'm good with that. Hey, you know what it is. So freedom.